Good evening and welcome to our call on Monday, the 28th of July already. Thank you very much for joining us. A busy Monday night. I'm Val Deal and we're going to be talking about the X39 patch tonight. You may or may not heard anything about that, but just to give you a little bit of background on myself, excuse me. Um, I came into contact with these patches just over a year ago, 13 months ago. I'm a dog walker and boarder, but I couldn't walk very well, and I was having a lot of trouble with my hips. Partially torn the greater trochanter tendon in my right hip, and as a dog walker and boarder who couldn't walk, it wasn't great for my career. So I was looking for something to help me out because I wasn't being given any medical options. It wasn't something that could be operated on. Excuse me. And my consultant, whilst giving me steroid injections every 6 months rather, was telling me that that was going to be the best he could offer me. And I was living on painkillers and only getting 2 or 3 weeks respite for every steroid injection every 6 months, and the rest of the time living on painkillers, which was making me quite ill. So I needed a different solution. It was either that or I was going to be giving up my 3 bed semi because I was going up and down the stairs on all fours, and probably going to have to give up my job as well because not being able to walk the dogs to the extent I needed to wasn't great for my career. I then happened to see my friend Inez posting about these little patches on Facebook, and I said, give me some information on that because she was using them on herself and her husband, but also on her rescue dogs. And for me, that was the deciding factor. If they work on dogs, I had to give them a go. And luckily for me, when they arrived, I was really, really excited. And within just a couple of weeks, my pain levels started to reduce, which was really good because the minute I put a patch on, I stopped taking any painkillers. So my pain should have gone up, and it didn't. It didn't go up, but it took a couple of weeks to start coming down. But over a couple of months, my pain went to a zero, from a 7 or 8 with the occasional 9 out of 10. So I've been absolutely thrilled with these patches, and I've been using them ever since. I still walk dogs every day, and I've still got my house and I've still got my business. But actually, I got involved with this as a business because I got so excited with all the things I'm seeing from my friends, family, and other people that put patches on. So if you're watching this as a recording or if you've joined our call, thank you so much. If you have got a patch on, you're already experiencing the benefits. But if not, well, the question we're always asking is, have you been patched yet to elevate, activate, and regenerate your body? And we're going to let you know all about them right now. So the guy who invented these patches is a guy called David Schmidt. Absolutely amazing gentleman. He's actually got over 200 patents to his name now. I believe actually there's someone said to me the other day there's only two people in the world that have achieved 200 patents to their name, and he is one of them. He's also the company's CEO. He's the most amazing chap with a brain for the future. He's a scientist and inventor, and he's a specialist in age reversing. Now, just over a year ago, I didn't know age reversing was actually an area of study or scientific progression, shall we say, but it really is. And back in 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. Many of us have heard quite a bit about stem cell research in the last few years, but the recent patent for this particular product we're discussing tonight took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So it's not a flash in the pan. So the patent was taken out. It says 2020 here. So we've got another 15 years to run on this because patents last for 20 years. Now, part of what it says, you have to prove that something works when you have a patent on it. And part of what the patent says for this particular product is it embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. Now, it does an awful lot of things. You can fully read the patent on a website we'll give you later. But it's a very, very interesting piece of kit, and it does what it says on the patent. And no other company has this technology. So why do we need this X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, the fewer stem cells you have in your body, the faster you age and the slower you heal. hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. And by the time you get to 30, only half of your stem cells in your body are still active. They go dormant. When you're born, as a little baby, you're absolutely packed full of stem cells and they help your body to grow. They're pluripotent, they can self-renew, so they become any part of your body as you grow to a fully fledged adult. And then when you've grown to be a full-size adult, your body switches off the growing mechanism and the stem cells start to go to sleep. By the time you get to 60, I was horrified to discover this last year when I turned 60, you've lost almost all of your stem cell activity. In fact, 90% of your stem cells are then dormant. And this is why you really start to age. And anything you break, it takes an awful lot longer to heal if you get cuts or wounds. The aging process really starts to ramp up as your stem cells switch off. So how does this X39 patch work? Well, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy, which just means light therapy. It's a patented nanocrystal technology, which means they're very, very tiny microscopic crystals inside the patch. And they actually reflect light to activate, like lots and lots of tiny little microscopic mirrors. Non-transdermal, and that means there's no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants going into your body. It's literally just your body's own infrared light, a portion of it being reflected back into your body. So it's absolutely non-invasive. So the benefits of X39, what do we see when we wear these patches? Well, one of the early things that most people experience is better mental clarity. So much clearer thinking, the brain fog goes. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, restored muscle or skeletal conditions. Improvement of sleep, that's a big one for a lot of people. Increased stamina, energy and vitality improved, and also much improved skin appearance. And these are just a few of the many list of benefits that many people get. And this basically helps your body to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Homeostasis is another word for it, which is a great word. Makes your body work the best way it can. So this is actually a really fantastic little topography map, if you like things presented to you in colour. Now, this is actually little brain scans taken from a participant in a study who was a 77-year-old woman, and she had the X39 patch placed on the back of her neck. That's just we call the nape of the neck. And here we see on the left in session one, you see a lot of hot colours there, reds and oranges, and she had a lot of inflammation in her brain. So she was demonstrating a lack of brain coherence. She was quite confused in her thinking. And then the X39 patch was put on. For session two, she'd been wearing it for some 3 weeks, as I say, on the nape of her neck. And you can see already those hot colours, the inflammation has massively improved. We've got nice cool colours there and no more inflammation on her brain, much improved brain coherence. And this continued on to session three, which after 6 weeks, you can see of wearing the X39, she'd experienced a complete turnaround, much better brain coherence. And, things had dramatically improved for her, but also remained calm after wearing the patch for some 6 weeks. That's a huge result. Now, I will just quickly point out the lady was still alive after that. She didn't have her brain dissected or anything. That's actually a topography map, is quite harmless, doesn't hurt you at all. Now, the X39 long-term results, what happens when we put these patches on for, more than just a few days? Well, in the first few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset in your body. And that means they reset to a younger age, which is really good fun. So you can then obviously see why your brain becomes better balanced and your thinking improves. Within 6 weeks, most people are experiencing those things. Then we get to the really big stuff. Within 3 months, your collagen in your body is increased. Now, a lot of people these days are taking collagen supplements. But if you can imagine switching back on your body's collagen, there's an awful lot of collagen, again, in your body that goes to sleep. It changes. It becomes more brittle and doesn't work so well. But if we can switch your body's collagen back on, it's an awful lot more powerful than taking a supplement. And it really works. Collagen is the most prevalent protein in your body. It's what keeps your body elastic. It's in your muscles. It's not just skin, hair, and nails. It's in your muscles. It's in your veins, your arteries. There's a big muscle in the middle that pumps the red stuff around, and it really helps that one to work. So you can understand, therefore, then that by the time we get to 6 months, your heart can actually be shown to reverse in age by up to 8 years. And that's what the studies have shown. So, in the words of David Schmidt, it's not anti-aging, it's actually age reversing. How crazy is that? So how do we wear this little X39 patch? Well, in the studies, two main points of the body were chosen, and that's two fingers below your navel, your belly button, or on the nape of the neck, as we saw in the topography map, the study that they were using for the nape of the neck. And these are really popular acupressure points and very, very powerful points on the body. But you can actually wear these patches anywhere on the body, and they will work. So if you have a particular area of pain, you can put the patch nearer to that. But you wear your patch for 12 hours on and then take it off for 12 hours so your body can repair and rejuvenate. And then the next day you put a fresh patch on. And you can either throw away the used patch, or there is a little bit of life left in it. And a lot of us use these on our pets. You can use them on children. Not enough for an adult to wear for 12 hours the next day, but there is a little bit of life left in them, and they do work on animals. And that's where, that was what convinced me to get involved in these, because if things work on an animal, there's no placebo effect. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but we don't recommend you wear more than one X39 patch. We do have other ancillary patches, most of which were invented before the X39 patch, and they do slightly other things, which are all complementary. It's really important that you drink plenty of water during this process. That makes your body more communicative. It means the cells can actually communicate with each other better. They're more conductive, and also helps you to flush out the toxins. And we also strongly recommend that you take electrolytes. A very high percentage of people are actually deficient in one mineral or another. And so by taking electrolytes every day with your water, you just make sure your body's got all the building blocks it needs, because it's doing a lot of fixing during this process. So the X39, it's so sophisticated yet simple to explain. And the testimonies of X39 are absolutely life-changing and often very emotional. And the best thing about the X39 is it absolutely works. I've told you a little tiny bit about me, but we've got some fantastic testimonials on here. And I'm just going to ask one or two people if they'll share some of their stories with us. Now, I know, Nicola, you were going to tell us a little bit about what's happened to you. You've been patching for just a few days.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And so Jules and I know each other from a choir that we both sing in, and I really, really enjoy the choir. It's something that I joined in November, and it's one of those activities that, I love doing. But more recently, my skin has been flaring up more and more regularly. And I've been to see a dermatologist, and they said that it was contact dermatitis. I've been referred for patch testing for allergy, etc. Um, I, I stopped going to choir a few weeks ago because my skin was so bad. It was just to give a bit of an example. You've seen some of the pictures, but the picture from Wednesday when I saw Jules, it wasn't at its worst. It was slightly calmer than it had been over the last few weeks, but I haven't got any uh, pictures of that because I didn't want to take any photographs of myself, to be honest. I was so appalled with the way my face looked. I just wanted to hide away. But I'd stopped going to choir. I'd not been for 2 weeks, so I'd missed out on that. And it was then that Jules had recommended these patches, and we met up last Wednesday, and I almost didn't want to meet Jules because I almost didn't want to go out. I hadn't been out of the house for weeks because my face had been so bad. It'd been red, itchy, inflamed, so itchy that I've wanted to scratch my skin off. All red, all over my face, inflamed, bumpy, hot to touch, angry, feeling like there's some sort of like lava moving underneath my skin. It's been dry, it's been red, itchy, sore, all those things. And for me, that's given me low self-esteem. I've not wanted to go out, stop doing all the things that I like doing, including choir. Anyway, I mustered up the courage to go and meet Jules, and I said, Jules, you're just going to have to excuse me. I look a mess, and I didn't feel comfortable or confident to go and even meet Jules, but I did. Anyway, I put the patch on at 9 o'clock, and Jules sort of talked me through briefly what to do over the next few days, and said, "Look, we don't know how it's going to work, but I'm confident that it's going to help you. We just, everyone's different." On the Thursday morning, I woke up, my skin, the redness had completely gone. My skin was incredibly dry. I said to Jules, the redness has gone, but it feels incredibly dry, like I'd got a clay mask on my face and it had dried and felt like it was going to crack. And Jules said, that's part of the skin healing. And then the next day, so 48 hours of patching, my skin was smooth, the redness had gone, a lot of the dryness had gone. And I honestly could not believe, and that's the picture that I shared in the WhatsApp
Wow.
group. This cheek here was white and red. So the white, I think, was plasma trying to heal my skin underneath my skin, and it was all red, bumpy, hot to touch. And then 2 days later, it was completely clear and smooth, and I was blown away. I mean, my husband, I was getting to the point where I was desperate, absolutely desperate, because from a medical point of view, the doctors didn't really have anything other than steroid cream. I was also prescribed Protopic by the dermatologist, which was not helping my skin because I don't think it was contact dermatitis. I think it's stress related. I've been working incredibly hard and my skin's been getting worse and worse and worse. And I hadn't made the connection between the two. But to see the results in 2 days that I've seen, I'm absolutely sold. And I met up with Jules today. She gave me a few other different patches to try. My husband's been suffering with lower back pain for a while now, and he's a carpenter. And I've just patched him with the Icewave literally just before the call. And I said, "What's your level of pain?" He said, "About a 7." And it keeps him awake at night. It makes him very uncomfortable at night. And then we tried the clock method. We tried 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then it ended up being 6 o'clock. That he was like, "Oh my God, I
No
can't
way.
believe." So, you know,
Oh, wow.
and I've got to admit, I was a bit skeptical when Jules mentioned these patches, but I was at such a desperate stage of desperation. But the results speak for themselves. I mean, my
You look fantastic.
yeah, I mean, honestly,
Glowing.
there is absolutely no way in this world I would have been on camera at all the way I felt over the last 3 weeks. Today's the first day that I've been back on camera at work. Um,
Oh,
I had a fit for work note which signed me as fit for work, but with no traveling and no face-to-face meetings and no camera on. And today's the first day that I've been comfortable enough to be on camera.
oh,
Wow.
Um,
What
that's
work do you do?
amazing.
so I'm a civil engineer. I work for a construction engineering company, and I do a lot of Teams calls, but I also do a lot of face-to-face meetings.
Wow.
And I'd been gradually feeling like my personality was shrinking in at work because I
That
was more and
must
more
have made work
self-conscious.
really hard.
Yeah, it was. I've always looked after my skin as well. I'm an ambassador for a skincare company, Tropic Skincare. I've been using it for years. And I've almost felt like a bit of a fraud for that as well, because my skin hasn't been reflecting the products, because my skin's been misbehaving. I think my body's full of inflammation. And just to give a little bit of another side context, I had a hysterectomy 2.5 years ago. Yeah, I think it's 2.5 years ago. Um, I was suffering with a lot of gynae pain. I think my body was very inflamed. I had endometriosis, adenomyosis, and all
Wow.
sorts of
Yeah.
stuff going on. And since that, I've been on HRT, and I think my hormones have been playing me up as well. So I think I've been suffering with a lot of unrest in my body over the last,
Yeah.
few years. And then I think with the pressures of work and stress, etc., it's sort of accumulated, and my body's reacted with the skin
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
Um, I said to Jules today that other than the skin, I've also noticed that I've been feeling happier over the last couple of days. And I think that's partly because my skin looks better and I feel more myself. Um, but I was in the garden over the weekend playing with my son, and I was laughing, I was playing, I was being more light-hearted, and I hadn't felt like that for a really long time. And I
Oh,
know those aren't quite as easy to justify or prove to somebody, like a skin healing that quickly. But I'm super excited about what these patches are going to do for me longer term as well. And hearing some of the stories that I've already listened to on some of the videos that Jules has shared. Um, and also now my husband just finding that relief
That's
immediately from that
brilliant.
ice wave
I didn't
patch.
realise that because you were just about to patch before, weren't you? So I
Yeah,
didn't know the result.
yeah.
That's
So
brilliant, Nick.
that's absolutely incredible. I'm going to ask you one last little question before we move on to someone
mm,
else. How long have you known that Jules had these patches, and were you super skeptical up until this point?
I didn't know about the patches until, so we've got a WhatsApp group for the choir, and I'd said on two occasions, like 2 Thursdays, sorry ladies, I can't make it tonight. My skin's really bad. And I'd been complaining about my skin for weeks and weeks before, and some days I'd come and my skin was not great, but it wasn't horrendous. Like, it wasn't stopping me from going out. But I was a bit self-conscious, and I'd be like, oh, sorry, I've got a greasy face. I've just had to put loads of moisturizer on. My skin's a bit irritated, and but I was still turning up. But it was only on the second week that the lady that runs the choir said, I'm really sorry to hear about your skin, Nick. Come in and have some deep healing. She's like a holistic therapist, but she said also Jules has mentioned that she's got these patches that might help you. And I was like, oh, okay. Next time I go and see Jules, I'll have a chat. And then that Thursday I did go, and Jules and I had a conversation, and then we met up on the Wednesday, and I got some patches. So Jules had sent me some information, and I got to admit, I was a bit skeptical because I was thinking, how, you
How does
know,
a little sticking
how
plaster
does
do
it
Yeah,
that?
work?
yeah,
How does it work? And but I honestly felt like I was at a point in my skin journey where I was getting very desperate. The medical route was not helping me.
yeah.
Um, and I'm not getting much help from a hormonal point of view as well. So I was, to say the word desperate, I think that just sums it up.
Yeah.
I think I would have tried anything at the
Yeah.
point, but I didn't expect to see results.
Oh,
And I saw my mom on the Thursday, and she saw my skin then, and she also then saw me on the Saturday, and she was absolutely gobsmacked. My sister was there as well, and they were like, "Oh, I cannot believe the difference." Um, but
That's
it's not so much just the way it looks, which is obviously from an aesthetic point of view, I'm really chuffed. But the way it feels, it's completely calm
yeah,
under the skin, and that's exciting for me because I know that obviously my skin is reacting well to it. But what
yeah,
else is it doing for me?
yeah.
Which is
yeah. And I
That
think also mentally for you as well, hasn't it?
yeah.
It's been a massive help.
massively, yeah. So
Oh,
I said to
Awesome.
Jules in a text earlier in the week, thank you so much for introducing me to these patches because I I don't know. I don't know where my work would have gone over the next few months if I had have still been suffering with this, and I don't know how my mental health would have been. And
Yeah.
I'm due to go on holiday on Friday for a week, and I was umming and ahhing whether I could have gone.
oh,
Oh, bless your heart.
oh.
Well,
I'm
it's
so
all
happy for you.
upwards now. That's absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing,
Brilliant
Nicola. That's
testimonial.
absolutely brilliant.
Thank you,
Brilliant.
Nick.
Thank you.
Is there someone else would like to like to share a little one with us? Max, it's always good to see you on. I know you're just phenomenal. Are you able to share with us a little bit?
I will, yes. Hi, Val. Hi, my name's Maxine. I've been patching now for 2 months. I'm coming into my third month. So I started off patching. It was Anne that introduced me. I met her at a festival and we got talking. And I told her about a lung condition that I've got. It's called alpha 1 antitrypsin. Um, And both my parents basically have given me a dodgy gene each, and I've got the worst case now, unfortunately. So what alpha 1 is that my liver doesn't produce a protein that doesn't produce the protein alpha 1 antitrypsin that cleanses your lungs. So with this condition, you can be lung affected and liver affected, or both. Unfortunately, I'm lung affected and I've now got emphysema and I'm only 51. So I wanted to try these patches, obviously, to see if they would help with my lungs. So I started patching. Fortunately, I'd had a full lung function test at the beginning of the year, and I'd had one 6 months previous to that. So my lung function was at the beginning was at 57%, and then 6 months later it went down to 53%. So things weren't looking great. So I went and had another lung function test. Granted, it was in a different hospital with different people, so I did expect a bit of a fluctuation, and not to be, but anyway, my lung function test came back at 60%. So that was just after a month of patching. So I was quite blown away with that, because I just thought, 7% is a huge leap,
Big jump, yeah.
Yeah. Also, the gas exchange in my lungs were at 60% and 70%. And again, that had reduced. And this time they'd come back normal, which was strange. And even the consultant said to me, and it's even written down on a letter, that my results are very unusual, but and they don't really correspond with emphysema. I do still have very chronic small airway obstruction, so this is what's making me breathless. But I have found that I am less breathless on these patches. I still have some good days, bad days, but the bad days haven't been as bad as they usually are. So yeah, it's just been pretty incredible. I'm really excited to see what happens next and what it's doing inside me. I've noticed my skin's got better. I'm usually very red around here, and we don't know what it is. That seems to have calmed down. My nails are getting better. I had quite a lot of menopausal symptoms, and the X39 just wasn't doing it quick enough for my liking. So I jumped onto the SP6 patches and I put them on, and instantly they stopped all my hot flushes. So I haven't had any hot flushes for a month now.
Wow.
Amazing.
So
Awesome.
that in itself is just worth doing. And then I had a small back injury. Excuse me, my dog's barking. I had a small back injury and I patched with the Eon. And within 2 days, all the pain had gone. I'd pulled it at the gym, and I literally couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't even turn over in bed.
Wow.
And I was going away, and I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? I can't do anything. I can't pack the van. I'm not going to be able to move. And so I put the Eon on with my X39 and my SP6. And yeah, 2 days, no pain. It had all gone. And I'm
Wow.
like, how is that possible?
That's
But it
just
was. And I got in my van and I packed my van and I drove my van for 7 hours and not even a twinge.
No way.
Wow.
So yeah, brilliant.
Well, it's only 2 months. We're
I know.
on 6.
yeah. That's
It just
awesome.
gets better and better.
I'll be
It's
looking 20
absolutely
again
awesome.
when it's 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Max. That's superb.
Good.
So happy
Welcome.
for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Wow.
Jules.
We're all going to be like Benjamin Button.
Yeah. Oh,
Magic patches.
indeed. Over to you, Jules. That's fantastic.
Okay. Oh, thank you guys for those fantastic testimonials. I'm just going to carry on with the presentation and tell you a little bit about the business side of things. Okay, so first of all, the website to head to get all the information on the patches and the science behind it is www.thisisitinfo.com. There's loads of testimonials there as well. So if you haven't already got that, if you want to take a screenshot or write it down, it's full of information. Okay, so Lifewave is a 20-year-old company and we're open in over 75 countries, so it's really international. And the great thing about the patches is that it's not a Me Too product, meaning that we haven't got any competition out there. It's not like the weight loss or skincare or supplement companies where someone's always got something better than you. You know, we are out there on our own, very unique and no competition. So it's really exciting times. Now, in 2021, we had sales of $20 million, which was fantastic. But in 2022, it shot up to $320 million. And that was because X39 was launched. And the This Is It team, which we're all a part of in this group, is they got involved and they just took this to new levels. So absolutely amazing. Now in 2023, our sales were $430 million and last year sales of $600 million. And this year it's very exciting because we are heading towards $1 billion. So absolutely incredible growth. Now, talking about growth, we have actually been ranked #1 momentum company in the world, not just 1 year running, but 2 years running. So absolutely incredible. So we're definitely in the right place at the right time. And also, as I say, we're all part of the This Is It team. And it's actually the fastest growing team in this business as well. So there's no better place to be. And this just shows one of the awards that we were given. So you can see there David Smith on the left. And then you've got the This Is It leaders. So you've got Steve and Gina Merritt there. And then you've also got Meredith Burkhoff, which is the actual president of Lifewave. So that just shows you a little picture of them collecting the Global Bravo Award. Now, what's most important in your life? What's brought you here this evening to this Zoom? Is it because you want to spend more time with your family? Or do you want more time freedom? Or maybe you want more security? Or more travel, or maybe you just want better health or less debt. Well, Lifewave can help with all of these, whether it's just through the patches itself or the business opportunity as well. And the business opportunity is amazing. So the compensation plan is second to none and it's so simple to work. So basically we run on a binary system. So you just build one team on your left and one team on your right. Now, if you introduce 4 people, so put 2 on your left, 2 on your right, you can go to the rank of manager. And this is where all the bonuses start to open up to you. And it's absolutely incredible how lucrative this can be. So you can actually earn just from the binary system $25,000 a week. Yes, we are paid weekly and it's just incredible how quickly these weeks come around. So it's really exciting. And it's amazing how quickly your income can grow. So this just shows you another bonus that we have as well. It's called the matching bonus. And it means that you can earn off the people that you introduce into your team. So you can actually earn 3 levels deep, meaning that the people that you introduce, you can earn 25% off their bonus. And that's not actually paid from them, it's paid directly from Lifewave. So everyone's a winner, really. Now, you're not just paid on that level, you're also paid on the 2nd and 3rd level. So the people that your personally sponsored people have introduced and the people that they've introduced, and you can earn 20% off those too. So as I say, it's really amazing how quickly your income can grow and how lucrative this can be. And we are actually expecting some new enhancements to the compensation plan coming soon. And it just means that we're going to be able to earn more money. And, you know, as I say, it can grow really, really quickly. So if you want to become a brand partner, there are 3 main ways to get involved. So these are the 3 packages that we recommend. So you can either go for the core package, which is $295, and that includes 3 sleeves of X39. A sleeve is a month's supply, so 30 patches. Now this pack is really good if you just want to try the patches yourself. But if you want to go for a bigger pack so you can start sharing them with people, then it's worth going for the advanced pack, which is $535, but you actually get 6 sleeves of X39 in that. But if you really want to hit the ground running with this business and really get involved, then it's best to go for the premium pack, which has 20 sleeves of X39 in. And it's basically meaning that you're going to get the sleeves of patches at the best price possible, $87.50. So that's really good if you just want to kind of really get involved with the business. And the great thing about Lifewave is that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee to brand partners. So that really is peace of mind, and it just means that it's risk-free as well. So also we recommend that you go onto a monthly subscription. You can either go on a 1 sleeve subscription or a 2 sleeve subscription. And this is just really good because you're making sure that you're getting your patches every month. You don't have to keep doing separate orders. They're just going to come to you every month. You never run out, because we never want to run out of these. But also it keeps you active in the business as well. So it means that you can earn your bonuses. So as I say, we spoke about the thisisitinfo.com earlier. There is another website that you can have a look at as well, which is full of information again, called thisisitteam.com. And this is really good if you want to look more into the business side of things and the compensation plan. So again, it's packed full of information. So the time in that is now to make your move. So if you're really serious about your dream, this is hope for the future, guys. If you haven't already started patching, get started on X39, feel the benefits, and you can't help but share these results with people, and it just grows so organically. It's such an exciting business to be involved with, helping people. It's very rewarding. And if you haven't already joined our team, then go back to the person that invited you on this call and get started with us, and we look forward to welcome you on to the next call. So thank you for listening. Thank you all for the testimonials, and thank you to Val too. I'm going to stop sharing now and stop recording, and then we can have a little chat. Here we go, record.